Let's go! Big dubs for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they have clinched a playoff spot. Officially, they become the North Division to do so. Big way to
Sorry, buddy.
rival team. And
Sorry, brother.
okay. So, anyways, big way to start the season. Let's get to the comment section. Big win tonight. W.
Big win.
They're crying an MTL. Montreal Canadiens, they've got a injured bunch right now. It's going to be tough for them going forward. Let's take a look at the North Division standings after tonight's game. Let me pull it up here. So, Toronto Maple Leafs are now 9 points ahead of the Edmonton Oilers, who are second place, 10 above the Winnipeg Jets. And
first seed.
And the Montreal Canadiens with 51 points.
Big W, big win.
It's a big dub. And the Toronto Maple Leafs clinch a playoff spot. Are you excited for playoff hockey?
Man, I'm so excited. I'm excited to get out of this Canadian division and see how we can adapt.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun. I really think that this team, it's constructed for success in the postseason. I'm really excited for what's ahead for this team.
Oh, yeah, it's a treat to watch.
Let's get to the 3 stars of tonight's game. So tonight's 3 stars, you have Austin Matthews, first star. He had a beautiful goal early in the game. Jack Campbell, second star. He made 32 saves on 33 shots. And Adam Brooks, your third star of the game. He had a gritty game and he had a big goal to make it 4-1.
Yeah, and he looks like he's sneaking into a little playoff spot there. So we'll see how that comes out. It's always nice for them to have some competition in the depth.
Yeah, he's definitely competing for playoff ice time, especially with the way he's been performing recently. I love that fourth line of Joe Thornton, Jason Spezza, and Adam Brooks. They work together nicely.
Yeah, I think we finally found a guy that fits with Spezza and Thornton on a line together, which is perfect because I think that's what we envisioned at the beginning of the season, to have those two guys on the fourth line.
Yeah, and honestly, you just playing beside those veteran players, that's so good for Adam Brooks' continued development.
Yeah, his confidence just with the puck even looks like it's excelling.
Yes. ASC, I'm with you, he says.
100%.
Definitely. Adam Brooks is legit. They won't take him out now.
To be honest, I think that's kind of a hot take right now, but I would agree with him, to be honest. I like him. He's just, you see his motor on him. He just was skating forever. He 100%. He kind of reminds me of Hyman.
Yeah, I mean he's grinding, and we got a hot take hockey raid in here. Let's go. Let's go.
Hot take hockey.
Big time raid here coming in. Hot take hockey raid. Shout out to all you. Go Leafs, go.
Big W, boys.
Big W as they clinch a playoff berth here. Let's go.
Yeah, well, we're coming, Stanley.
Yeah, make sure you smash that like button and hit the notification bell if you're in this raid. Shout out to Hot Take Hockey. Thank you for doing this raid.
What a beaut.
Maple Leafs big playoff spot berth here. I'm confident in this team going forward.
Yeah, and it's nice to get it on paper, but it almost feels like we clinched a while back. But it's nice to have it out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, we've been sitting at the top of the North Division.
96 days, I think it said tonight on the broadcast. So.
A very long time, and it's there's times where it felt like it was in jeopardy, but we never lost sight of it, and now this team's got to continue pushing forward for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's super refreshing to watch as a Leaf fan.
And I love how much depth this forward group has. Adam Brooks has been a great addition to the fourth line. You can slot in other players in there. The fourth line is really working really well.
Yeah, and yeah, it's nice to see the depth clicking here.
JB Hyman back will be sweet for the playoffs. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a workhorse on this team. 15 goals and 18 assists so far this season. He's having a great year, and you can slot him into the lineup anywhere as well.
Yeah,
it's great.
I don't, and knowing Hyman, I think he kind of pushes himself to the fullest to get back for the playoffs. Because look at last year, he played through an injury. So we'll see.
And he's a multi-purpose player. He's a Swiss Army knife. You can play him on the power play, penalty kill, and he's great even strength. Hot Take Hockey says, congrats on 700 subs. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate the raid. 700 subscriber feels great to get to this milestone, but Maple Leafs Media, we're just starting out, and we're going to keep pumping out the content.
Hats off, baby.
I'm pumped. Woohoo! Go Leafs, go!
Yeah, that was a treat.
Yeah. So Joe Thornton, he had a milestone here tonight. He joined the 11,000 career assist club.
1,100
or 1,100. Yeah, I bet. Wow, 11,000. 1,100. That'd be wild.
Oh, he's the goat.
He's a goat. He passed Gretzky and everything. 1,100 career assists.
Yeah, and even that's a huge milestone for him. You look at the names that he's up there with. Really shows he kind of like just slid in there for me as a fan growing up. Like you never, not that you didn't hear of Joe Thornton, but not on the likes of guys like Crosby and Ovi.
Yeah, I mean he was always around. He also played in a smaller fan base like San Jose.
Western Division for sure.
So he was late games as well, so it would have been harder for us to watch him, but he's someone you always knew was there. And when he played for the Boston Bruins early in his career, he's just been an all-time great.
He's moving his feet. He wants it, and he wants to be a part of a big push. So
yeah, something he's never had is a Stanley Cup ring, and he's got a chance to get one of those this season.
For sure.
Also, another milestone that was reached in this game. In Montreal, fittingly, Jason Spezza, he tied Maurice Richard on the all-time points list with 966 career points. Congratulations to Jason Spezza. That's just a great name to be mentioned with.
It was a vintage performance tonight.
A vintage performance. And let's check out the play that gave him that assist to push him to this milestone.
He's looking to see where the pressure is, and that one he just never got. But a heads-up play by Spezza.
What are you doing, Jake Allen?
Oh my gosh! I think he thought he had a lot more pressure there, but what a whiff! What a whiff!
Yeah, he whiffed on that bad. He fanned on it, and
good play by Adam Brooks.
Yeah, Jason Spezza feeds it right out to Brooks, and Brooks puts it away. Nice goal, and Jake Allen, he's got to do a better job there.
Oh, for sure. And that's one thing from goalies. You really see coaches want them to get a grip of, because that's a tough goal to give up this late in the year.
Another statistic: Marner's tied with Busher Jackson and Red Kelly with 951 career Leaf points. So there you go, another accomplishment tonight. Toronto Maple Leafs players, they're getting a lot of individual milestones, but that's not what this is about. They're trying to come together and make a push for the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, if you looked on that Spezza play, it didn't even it didn't look like he was too ecstatic. I don't even know if he really realized. Like, he obviously knew going into the game that he could have done that, but just he played it professional and moved on. He just wants the win.
Yeah, for sure. ASC says this team reminds me of the 2009 Penguins team when they won the Cup, a mix of older veterans and young talent. Yeah, think about the team with Pittsburgh that won the Stanley Cup against Detroit.
Yeah, came back and beat them in 2009.
Yep, they definitely had a nice infusion of youth with
throwback to Marc-Andre Fleury in his prime. Feels like his prime never left.
Yeah, I mean, he's still such a great goaltender.
For sure.
Flower, he was fun to watch. I remember I saw Sidney Crosby get his first career penalty in a game in Buffalo.
Oh yeah, I seen Fleury play in person too, but I'm pretty sure he had a pretty bad game. He let in like 5 goals or something. But
I saw him when he was with Pittsburgh, and that was in that game against Buffalo. And then I saw him once with Vegas in Toronto a couple years ago. Toronto.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it was their second season.
I'd love to go to a game in Vegas.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun for sure. The penalty kill: Marner, Foligno, Hyman, Mikheyev. Those would be your 4 forwards for the penalty kill.
I agree.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, and unless we see an injury, for sure, I can see Brooks playing. But yeah, that's the ideal.
Yeah, I'm with that. David says Riddick redemption tomorrow. Hopefully for David Riddick, he'll be playing.
Yeah, let's see if he can turn it around. We've seen what he is capable of. Although the Leafs kind of have a habit of doing that. But he's a good goalie.
Oh, he's had a couple tough games with the Toronto Maple Leafs for sure, but
it's a mindset too.
I think he'll be all right
for sure. Think Hutch will play again this year?
Doubtful. Let me check the schedule, see how many back-to-backs we have left. I'm doubtful though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
Pending.
I don't think so. I'm just gonna say no. I'm not even gonna check the schedule. No, he's not going to. So let's take a look at Austin Matthews' 35th goal of the season.
Yeah, and
a week ago at Edmonton, but that's a tough game to play. Here's a chance, scores. Austin Matthews takes a puck away, and he's got his 30.
Ew, bro! Like that was just filthy, man. That was filthy.
A classic Austin Matthews goal against the Montreal Canadiens. He's now scored 17 goals in his career against them. He's dominant.
Yeah, it's wild to see 35 goals when they threw it up on the screen in the shortened season. It's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get to 40.
Yeah,
probably above that.
Yeah, and it's a great accomplishment to get 40 in a full season. So he's just making it look easy out there.
It is, and he's ahead of Connor McDavid now. He's got an 8-goal lead on Connor McDavid now. So
yeah,
or 7-goal lead rather. So
and we have one more game against Edmonton, if I'm correct. So we'll see who gets the bragging rights.
Well, it's gonna be Austin Matthews. I think I'm very confident. He's going to win the Rocket for sure.
Yeah, the Rocket, 100% for sure. It'd be nice for the Leafs to light them up before the playoffs, though. Let them know who's the boss.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we're going to be playing the Montreal Canadiens in the playoffs, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, that's an incredible series. Hasn't happened in a long time. So before me and you.
Yeah, a while back, I believe it was 1979 was the last time it happened.
Yeah, crazy.
So just the rivalry, that's just such a big installment of it.
For sure. And this format this year has kind of allowed some good history to take place.
You know what else it's allowed? It's allowed new rivalries to form.
For sure.
What rivalry that wasn't really existent before would you say came to life most this season in the North Division for Toronto?
I honestly would say it's starting to look a lot more like Montreal, but I think the Winnipeg one, surprisingly, we don't get to see them much for them being in the West, and it's nice to see it heat up a bit there as well. So I'd say those two.
I'm thinking like there's so many. There's three. You have Edmonton, Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews. That's just a big matchup every time it happens.
I wish those
Winnipeg.
games. Sorry.
Winnipeg.
Yeah, Winnipeg.
Sure.
I agree. I wish those Edmonton games would get a bit more physical, to be honest. But we'll see in the playoffs if we play them in a round.
They're just so. They're so such high flying teams.
Exactly. They're such quick teams, and you don't get a lot of whistles in those games.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's such high octane offense, so much potent scoring ability for both teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Comment here. Josh Anderson said the Leafs played flat tonight, and the Habs should have been able to find a way. Maybe Buddy watched a different game.
Oh my God, Josh Anderson. That's one guy I hope gets a punch in the face by the end of the season, to be honest, because he's been asking for it for sure.
I mean, like the Montreal Canadiens have a bunch of injuries, but they didn't come out flat tonight. The Toronto Maple Leafs played dominant hockey tonight.
Dominant, and I don't think there's one guy on the team tonight that you could say played a flat game or not a good game. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they outplayed the Montreal Canadiens, and that's what I'm expecting to happen if these two teams meet in the playoffs. For sure. And you see there at the end of the game, we seen Muzzin shoot the puck at Tkachuk earlier in the year, and you see him pat Josh Anderson on the back there at the end of the game. Maybe that was good sportsmanship, but to me it seems a little odd in a high rivalry game when these two guys were flying at each other all night. So yeah, I mean, those two have been flying at each other throughout the season. Every time they match up, Josh Anderson, Jake Muzzin, they're going at each other. For sure, and it's crazy to see how durable Muzzin is, how much he takes every single night. He's a veteran. He knows the ins and outs of playing a physical game in the NHL. For sure, bro. I mean, so yeah, let's just take a look at this horrible play by Jake Allen again. They just skipped over or fanned on this shot. This is just.
He's looking to see where the pressure is, and that one he just never got. But a heads-up play by Spet.
Awful, bro. Tell him to put some black tape on that stick. See the puck, make the puck stand out a bit more, or his blade. That's just a bad play. Just fans on it, and the Maple Leafs take advantage. Love to see it though. Yeah, and Josh Anderson looked a little heated after that as well on the bench. So he's getting mad. I can't wait to see this unfold. Muzzin scored. Jake Muzzin did score today. He had a goal. It was a shot from the point. Yeah, he's timely. He's getting some good timely scoring this year. So he's for sure one of our bigger leaders on the team.
Absolutely. And he's got 2 Stanley Cups to his name, to his resume. He's a veteran. He's done it before, so it's nice to have that in our defensive core.
I have a question. So if the Leafs, say the Leafs make it to the finals this year, and doesn't go our way, hypothetically, do you think Joe Thornton would return for a year?
I actually thought about that today during the game.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I think it's right now, but looking at him on the bench today, there's still a little bit of brown in that beard, man. So I'd like to see him go until it's all white.
He might, but I'm not really certain. I'm not really certain of it.
I think Spezza lasts longer in the league than Thornton, to be honest. He just looks like he's got more in the tank right now.
Well, Spezza's younger too. Like I don't think Jumbo Joe will play next year. At least not in the NHL. He might play in like a Swiss league or something.
We should
this off season.
Yeah, next year if it doesn't work out this year, we'll just sign him right on deadline and put him in the playoffs, Game 7. Damn right. Any comments here?
Shout out to Brooks. The fourth line is buzzing right now. Adam Brooks has filled that fourth line position very nicely with Jason Spezza and Joe Thornton alongside those 2 veteran presences. I like it.
Yeah, and Brooks had a 120-point season in junior, so he's got the skill and he's looking like more of a piece for us than we thought.
Yeah, he's a gritty, feisty player on the fourth line, and
sure. And he
plays that real nice.
He's in the right places at the right time. He's got good hockey IQ, as I was talking about Pierre Engvall's hockey IQ earlier. That's why I'd put Brooks in over Engvall.
Yeah, there's no question I'm putting Brooks in over Engvall for sure. Cooper says, I'm rooting for the Leafs in the playoffs because the Columbus Blue Jackets are terrible. Well, yeah, we've got some of the Columbus Blue Jackets alumni here, Nick Foligno, and we've got Riley Nash on here as well. So these are players that Columbus Blue Jackets fans might want to see win.
Yeah, and thinking back of how well Columbus and those 2 players played against us, I'm glad we have them this year. Yeah,
they were big to shut us down in that preliminary series last year. It's nice having them on our team. Nick Foligno, 3 assists in 3 games as a Toronto Maple Leaf. He's an impact player.
For sure, man. For sure. How'd you feel about the Sandin hit?
That Sandin hit, I wish I had the clip, but he checked him, the guy into the boards. It's kind of.
I think it could have been
it could have been a boarding, or maybe even a check from behind. I think it was a bit dirty, but I like the physicality.
Man, I don't know. You see that a lot. Sometimes you just put on too much pressure, and that's what it looked like happened there. And it's a freak incident in my play. I wouldn't call that. The way he turned into the boards there, it just looked like he lost his footing.
Yeah, it looked rough. It looked like a rough collision for sure. Sandin has definitely proven himself on defense. Sandin's been excellent.
Yeah, and his transition is looking pretty insane right now. And it's nice for Morgan Riley to be able to get some more offensive rest.
Yeah, Rasmus Sandin, I love his game, what he brings to the team. He's got so much potential, such a young player still, former first-round pick. He can join up on the rush. He can make big hits. In the offseason, he gained some weight, and he's added that physicality aspect to his game more. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him.
Yeah, he's eating his mini wheats.
He's trying to make a push to be on this roster, on the starting lineup
For
come
sure.
playoff time.
And I think he's in.
William says Montreal for the win. Not tonight.
Yeah, that was a rough showing for you.
Not tonight. No win for them tonight. Will Riley Nash help our team?
Yes.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah, he's a proven depth player. It's kind of what his role's been his whole career, and yeah, he's very good defensively.
Yeah, he can play fourth line center or right wing. He's a great addition.
I don't know if he plays. For some reason, I think depending on how the playoffs go, there will be some shuffling as well as injuries. So I don't know if he plays every game, but I think he'll get quite a few games in.
He'll definitely be getting time in the playoffs. That's what the Toronto Maple Leafs brought him in for. Cooper here says it. Columbus Blue Jackets fan. He's a playoff player. He is. He's a playoff performer. He's a shutdown type of forward, and when he scores, it's just icing on the cake. He's not really a big goal scorer, but he will shut you down.
Yeah, and he's a good penalty killer as well.
Yeah, penalty killer. That's just another aspect to his game. He can do so many things for your team. Eat up valuable minutes on that fourth line.
Yeah, he's in 100%.
Do you think the Leafs are cup contenders?
Yes, 100%. I mean, I feel like I have the faith in the Leafs every year, but something about the veteran presence this year and the camaraderie that it seems like looking in that they have is the best I've ever seen it for this team. They look like a team that wants to win, and I think this is their time to get through the hump.
There's no doubt in my mind that the Toronto Maple Leafs are Stanley Cup contenders.
Yeah,
they are Stanley Cup contenders. They've earned that right to be that. First in the division, they've clinched a playoff spot, and I really think that this is the year this team's transitioning from, they had a couple years as the new kid on the block in the playoffs, young, emerging talent, but now they have the veterans who are, as JB here says, cup hungry. They're Stanley Cup hungry group. I really think this is the year they make the push, and they are Stanley Cup contenders for sure.
Yeah, and what a beautiful story if the Leafs can bring it together and Matthews and Marner can bring Joe Thornton and Jason Spezza a cup. I think there'll have to be a movie made about it. So yeah, we're envisioning this.
Nevin says, after Thornton's game against the Jets the other night, I would definitely consider not taking him out of the lineup. The other night against the Winnipeg Jets, you saw the intensity he was playing with, like a switch flipped off. He looked angry. And
yeah, for sure.
He's hungry.
Yeah, I think with Jumbo, we want to have him in every game. It's going to be how much he has in the tank and how much he's going to be able to play 100%. So that's game to game decision.
Yeah, we didn't bring Jumbo Joe in here not to play in the playoffs. He was really struggling earlier in the season, so there's the thought of maybe he's not playing as much in the playoffs, but he's going to get ice time, and he will be in the lineup for day one of the playoffs.
Yeah, and if he keeps playing the way he is, he will play every game.
Yeah, he's going to be – I hope he's making a push. I really hope he makes a big push here in the Stanley Cup playoffs and push to get to the finals with this team. That would just be so great to see Jumbo Joe lift the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and I think the most underrated guy on our team is TJ Brody. I think he does not get enough credit. He makes everything look simple out there. He's quick with the puck. He gets out of the way. He's great, and I don't think he gets enough credit. Anyways, who do you think's the most underrated?
On the Maple Leafs?
Yeah, or underappreciated?
Zach Hyman.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree with you
Zach
actually.
Hammond.
But aside from
Hammond.
Hyman's probably the most underappreciated player in the league. So
He's one of the most underrated players in the league for sure.
for sure,
He really he's a workhorse. But another one, yeah, TJ Brody's definitely one of them for sure.
for sure, man.
I agree with you there. So there was a question here. Hey, who will we be playing in the first round? Let's take a look at the standings here. So as of right now, Toronto Maple Leafs first place. Montreal has 51 points. Calgary, they're 6 points out with the same amount of games played. Not looking good for them. But Montreal, they've been struggling with injuries and everything right now. So there's a chance that Calgary makes a push. Vancouver could technically still make a push, but I think it will probably be Montreal.
Yeah, that's what it looks like it's going to be. So what an amazing sequence it's going to be.
Yeah, and we played the Montreal Canadiens 10 times this season when we've played them all out. At the conclusion of the season, we'll look back and say we played them 10 times this year, and potentially we will play them in the playoffs in the first round.
Yeah, and hopefully Carey Price doesn't just steal a series from us. But
who's that? Winnipeg?
Carey.
Oh, Carey Price. Yeah, I mean he's been dealing. I thought you said Winnipeg for a second.
No. Hopefully Carey doesn't take a series from us because we've seen how clutch he is in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
so we'll see.
Carey Price, he's a great goaltender. And,
yeah, I just don't see them starting Jake Allen over him for the playoffs.
No way. If Carey Price is healthy and can play, there's no chance that's happening. Carey Price is the starting goalie there. Despite his struggles this season, he's got that poise to him. He can just flip that switch and he can just turn it on.
And the thing is, he's got the drive now because realistically, he's got a good hockey team in front of him. So in the past, sometimes it looked like he didn't have that much faith in his team and he was down on himself. But he can get it into gear real quick.
Yeah, and the Montreal Canadiens, they are really struggling with injuries right now. Brendan Gallagher has been injured with a broken thumb. Without him, the record is now 4-9. So he's a very big antagonist and a big impact player for their team. That's a big loss. Jonathan Drouin took a leave of absence today for personal reasons. There's Thomas Tatar's out with injuries as well. They've got a lot.
Thomas Tatar, and then Carey, like we mentioned. That's a big core of your team, to be honest. So we'll see how many of those guys will be back for playoffs. And to be honest, I still, I'm predicting right now if Leafs play them in the playoffs, it's gonna be the Leafs in 5.
In 5, wow. I could see like a 5 or 6. I wouldn't. It could go 7 very well, but I'd say if
I honestly, I think their physicality might come, but we're looking like we can take it, man. And we've never seen that from this team before. Usually, you just see Nylander run into the bench going like that, but now everyone's looking like they can shake off a hit.
Paul says Habs get Gallagher back. Price stands on his head. Everything points to a possible huge first-round upset. Worst matchup for the Leafs.
I mean, I think I would disagree, but I'm a Leaf fan, and as are most people here. So
I'll say that you know what, you don't want to run into a hot Carey Price.
Yeah,
I'd rather run into Connor McDavid heated up than Carey Price heated up, because Carey Price, he can take over a series, just be dominant in net, just completely shut you down. So I'd rather run into a hot Connor McDavid than a hot Carey Price.
Yeah, for sure.
But it looks like it's going to be Toronto, Montreal, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I'm just excited. I'm excited, man. I'm so excited for this playoffs.
Absolutely. Montreal still worries me.
Leafs have it. I hate that. Old school. Can you bring old school's comment up?
Which one?
Leafs have a hish. Okay. So I hate when people say this. So the Leaf. Why are we still thinking about? People still mention 1967. Like half of these guys weren't even thought of. Their grandparents didn't even think of their parents. Like it's not relevant to today's game. And if you're gonna sit here and tell me the Leafs have a history of failing, okay, I guess they do, but they also have a history of greatness. Before that, and we're gonna move on to better days. And from the now moment right now, we are a top 5 team in the league, and there's no regret in that. So thank you, old school. Case closed.
You know what? I'm gonna just reopen that case. I'm gonna add on to that. Just think about some of the historic teams around sports that have won on major droughts and then ended up winning. Like in baseball, the Chicago Cubs, Boston Red Sox, 100-year droughts.
Yeah,
it's been a really long time since the Maple Leafs have won a Stanley Cup, but
and
they can make a push, and the history doesn't define us. We can rewrite history with this team. I believe this team is.
And I think it's only a hump for us once we get that first cup. I think Matthews and Marner get a few more.
And he also said if Matthews or Marner get injured, they're done. But if Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl get injured, the Oilers are done.
Yeah, you could say that about any team in the league.
If Crosby and Letang get injured, they're done.
Yeah.
Like if 2 stars from a team get injured, that's usually what's going to happen.
Yeah, if John Carlson and Ovi got hurt, or John Carlson, Nick Backstrom, they're probably not gonna win the cup.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways,
just saying.
We love the comment though. Keep commenting, old school. We love the engagement.
I hate when people bring up how many series Columbus Blue Jackets have won. It's
he's just trolling. No, we know. Anyways, sorry. You were talking.
Best matchup possible for the Leafs. They got to start the playoffs by ending the Habs playoffs.
Yeah. Do you recognize Bob Dawson?
I don't.
I think he's in the. I think he might have subscribed today from that Facebook post because he's in a Facebook group I'm in. But yeah. Anyways, sidetracked. That is the best matchup possible for the Leafs for sure, and we'll see.
I'm not sure it's the best matchup. Honestly, I'm not. I think that I'd rather run into Edmonton, but with Winnipeg being in 3rd place out of Winnipeg or Montreal, I'd rather take Montreal.
Yeah, Edmonton kind of scares me, especially the first round. Connor McDavid and Draisaitl have a point to prove this year, and I think they get past whoever they play in the first round.
Yeah. Let's Talk Raps says, when the Leafs got Thornton and Simmons, I have a feeling that this is going to end their 54-yard drought. I've seen so many signs that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's just a different team aspect around this team, it seems like. With all the veterans and the way they've integrated them into this lineup, it seems like this team's hungry for a playoff push and for a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and Matthews is just up in his game even more. 14 goals in his last 15 games. Like, does this guy slow down? Are we gonna see him go into the playoffs and score a goal a game? And it's looking like we might. He shakes off for a guy so big. It's crazy to see how many checks he shakes off, and how elusive he is. Like, it's just wild. He's so good on his skates.
Austin Matthews is a generational talent. He is going to win the Rocket Richard Trophy this year,
and next probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him score 60 goals in an 82-game season.
Yeah, I could see him really start to take that torch down from Alex Ovechkin and be the next bona fide goal scorer in this league.
Yeah,
Superstar.
I think he's when Alex Ovechkin, he's starting to age now, but he's not quite ready to pass the torch yet. He still might have something to say about that. So
For sure. And isn't it nice, man? So once Crosby and Ovi step down, it's nice for Canada hockey because we got the next two. We got Matthews, McDavid, and it's nice to see Canadian hockey doing well.
yeah, superstars. But someone we can't forget about is in Colorado, Nathan McKinnon as well. Amazing player.
That's true, man. Nathan McKinnon is an animal.
Yeah, he's amazing, and I feel like he gets forgotten about too much.
I think it's because he's in the West and he has the best. Well, I'm not going to say that. I think the Leafs could beat Colorado right now, but going off last year, he has the best team surrounding him. So it's kind of hard when you have like Cale Makar passing you the puck, but you could say the same for Matthews.
Yeah, with Marner passing the puck. Who is going to get past the first round, Caps or Pens? If it was out of those two teams, if they played, I'd say Pittsburgh.
Pens are hot right now.
I'd take Pittsburgh. I really would.
You know what? I'm gonna go Caps. I think the Anthony Mantha edition is pretty insane for them. They're such a deep team. They just got Daniel Sprong back in too, so they've got a real good team.
You want to talk about an addition? An addition that it kind of flew under the radar a bit around the trade deadline. The Pittsburgh Penguins acquired Jeff Carter, a known playoff performer.
How's he playing?
I haven't really followed up on his stats, but he had a decent start to the season. But he's a known playoff performer. I think the Penguins will take the Washington Capitals on.
Well, we'll have to see how that plays out.
Old School says Pens, ASC Caps, Chuck Fleet Pens. Ben says Caps.
I think that's Game 7 though. Like that's a deep series.
Oh, absolutely. Crosby, Ovi, like again.
Yeah. And I don't really even take into account Ovi as much. I feel like if there's one team that's going to play Pens the hardest in that division, it's the Capitals. They have such a tough team. Tom Wilson, Zdeno Chara, like it's just Ovi. Like it's never ending. And they've had that depth scoring this year.
If I was the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'd rather play the Washington Capitals than the Toronto Maple Leafs, or than the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Maybe, yeah.
Sydney, just something about those Pittsburgh Penguins teams. I think they might have another run in them.
Yeah, man. And honestly, for the love of hockey, I hope Crosby has a nice little run. But I don't know. My gut says Caps. But anyways, Jeff Carter has a 4 points in 8 games, 3 goals, 1 assist. So he's playing
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Pittsburgh, yeah. So he's half point a game. He's playing pretty good, and he's got some in the tank for sure.
I agree with that.
I think he's got a few years.
I really think the Penguins would beat Washington there. I really do.
We're just gonna talk the next 30 minutes on Pens versus Caps.
ASC, I want Boston in round 3. Should we make it that far?
I want Boston. I want
Boston too. I think we match up against them well.
You know what kind of hurts though is they're not as good as a team as they actually are, like record wise, but they're not really the same. It's not really the same without Chara. I wanted to beat Boston with Chara, and but we'll see.
Yeah, there's no big Z.
I want to play them though. Hopefully we get Montreal, Winnipeg, and then like Caps or Boston. I want to play those 4 teams.
I really want to play Boston too. I think that it's a good way to flip the script on all the haters.
Yeah, no one can
Leafs
say
Nation.
anything, bro.
We could say we finally did it. We got past the
Well,
big
we can
Boston
say
Bruins.
we won it most recently, so that's all that matters, buddy. The present
Yes.
moment.
That's I agree with this. ASC. Good comment.
Good comment, bud. Habs have a bad coach.
Robertson can't close. Brooks is playing better. So
Yeah. I don't think that's a question. I mean, Robertson, he'll get there. I still think he's going to be a great player, but his size, I think he just needs to adjust a bit more. We will smash any team. I don't know if we smash any team. That's coming from Jug one time.
We will smash any team. There are a couple teams to look out for: Carolina, Vegas, Avalanche.
I think those are the three teams. To be honest, those are the three other teams in my mind that are other true contenders.
There's always a team that kind of emerges like
late in the
as
year.
a underdog team, like coming back late in the season.
I wonder, is St. Louis pulling back?
They're trying to. I'm trying to right now. But,
that could be dangerous. Former Cup champ.
Those are definitely teams to watch out for, though. Carolina, Vegas, Avalanche. I really think
Tampa,
Colorado,
Florida,
and Tampa Bay. We see the comment. T-Dot. Tampa Bay is obviously a contender.
Hey T-Dot, I said that before your comment. Don't worry, bro.
Let's get to some more comments here. Remember, Habs don't have Claude Julien, so that could be a factor as well. They have a new head coach that took over, so there's a lot going on with Montreal right now. It's got to be a tough time for them. They had that pause in the season as well. They've had a tough go this year.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it was the wrong move firing Claude, to be honest. But I mean, they know more than me.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of stuff going on in the locker room there, and it wasn't a good atmosphere. So I don't know. It is what it is, but Montreal, it's tough for them. Connor says, "I believe the hockey gods are on our side. Leafs Nation all the way." Let's hope they're on our side. They haven't been for a long time.
Yeah. It's real nice to know that we got at least 5 years in us still. So first 13 years of my life, they were complete dog shit. Oh, sorry. But it's true. And looks like we're turning it around.
Yeah, it does for sure. I mean, it's been tough, like just growing up as a Leafs fan, all those years just cheering for them, and it just feels like heartbreak at the end of the season. Whether it was those years we didn't qualify for the playoffs for so many years, or just these first round exits. So let's flip the script, please.
Or lose an 11-1 to Nashville Predators. Yeah, it's been a rough history, but like I said, we're rewriting history, and we are gonna win the cups. We're all gonna get together. We're all gonna go down the parade, and we're gonna have a blast. And yeah, damn right. Let's go, boys.
Ian says, "What's your take on Leafs playing Frederik Andersen in the playoffs, and should we keep him or let him go in the offseason?" So I think it's too early to tell if we're going to keep him in the offseason or not, but I don't think we will personally. The playoffs might determine that, and he could very well take over in net during the playoffs, but I think you have to give him a chance. Kelly Rudy, obviously, former goaltender in the NHL. He was on my show for an interview, and he said that he thinks you got to give Frederik Andersen an opportunity in goal in the playoffs, and he says it's his net. I can't 100% agree with that. I think that he's got to get a shot for sure, but you also have to ride the hot hand.
Yeah,
Jack Campbell, he had a really good start to the season, and he's strung together a good stretch of games here.
I'm just hoping the Leafs don't scar me and play Freddie Anderson to start the series, and he just plays garbage, and then we lose. And then, yep, the year's over because Freddie Anderson had a few months off, and he came back, and we gave him the nod, and he completely fumbled it. And I don't want to see that, so I'm gonna go with what goalie's playing good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think that you do have to give Freddie a chance, though.
I think, yeah, I agree with that as well. But I think his chance has to come in the next 8 games.
It's got to be a very short leash, and I'm not sure that he's going to be back before the playoffs. It's got to be a very short leash when you're Sheldon Keefe controlling who's playing in net in the playoffs. You don't have much flexibility. It's a 7-game series, so you need to have a very short leash.
Yeah, you got to be. I think if you're gonna play him, you have to be able to lose a game. Maybe have a game in hand or something to give him his shot. Because you don't want to mess around either down in a series or, to me, tied in the series early on. So it's hard because it's such series are short and it's game by game momentum. So we'll see how many games he gets. If he comes in and gets a shutout, keep him in.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's a solution. Everyone in the comments section, make sure you smash that like button and hit the notification bell. We have 89 people viewing this between Facebook and YouTube. There's got to be some of you in the comments section that haven't subscribed yet. If you haven't, make sure you smash that notification bell to be notified every time new content's coming out on Maple Leafs Media. Post-game coverage all the time. Videos, updates, and interviews with players like Kelly Rudy, Marty Biron, Matt Stajan. So check out the channel if you're new.
Yeah, boys. Let's go.
Hey, Ronnie.
What's up, Ronnie?
Let's go. Woo!
Let's go, Jack.
Sandine looking very poised. He needs to gain more top-end speed, though, for sure. You could see his lack of speed retrieving pucks.
I think he's quick.
I think he's a really good skater.
Yeah, I think he's really. I don't know if he means top end speed mentally or like the way he's processing plays, or if he means like top end speed skating, because he looks fairly quick. He reminds me a lot of Morgan Riley when he's skating.
The comparison I've had for Rasmus Sandin, Eric Brandstrom from the Ottawa Senators, Erik Karlsson, like Morgan Riley, you could compare it to. Like, he just joins up on the rush and he plays a 200-foot game.
And man, can you imagine? You see that hip check attempt today by him?
Yeah,
he hit his butt pretty hard on that board. Like, if he hit that check, that'd be another highlight hit back to back. So his grittiness is coming too, and I never knew he was that kind of player. Like, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on prospects and whatnot in our system, but I never knew he had that bite to him.
Who do you think some Maple Leafs most underrated prospects or overlooked prospects?
I'd say Nick Abruzzese. He is. I think I said that last time too. Yeah. We talked about this, but he's just
7th round pick last 2019.
Yeah, he's looking like a steal, man. And if you guys want to go look up his stats, you can. He's led his team, Harvard, I think it is, in scoring the last 3 or 4 years. So he looks good, man.
Mine would be Phil Pallander. We acquired him in a trade from the Pittsburgh Penguins. He was their second-ranked prospect at the time of the trade. So I like that addition for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's a former second-round draft pick.
Yeah.
20 years old, center. He could be a nice depth piece later.
Another guy I would mention probably is Topi Niemela. I really liked him. When the pick happened, didn't know much about him. Watched him in the World Juniors, and he just dominated. He won the best defenseman. He's great.
Yeah, he is for sure. There's a lot of fun prospects coming up for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we've got a pretty good development system, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's going to be important because we're really loading up for this season, and we're going to have players fill the void of
For sure.
players leaving. So that development system is really important.
Yeah, and it's nice these little 1-year contracts are looking like it's going to be the next with our contract circumstances. It looks like 1-year deals are going to be the new wave for us, and prospects coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be short, prove it type of deals. I could see us bringing in a lot of veterans, like giving veterans opportunities, like Joe Thornton and Wayne Simmons. Like we could sign players that they've proven themselves in the past. They've done it for a really long time, but they don't have a Stanley Cup, and this is a place you can come to make that push.
Yeah, and think about it. If we win it this year, hypothetically, that just makes other players want to come play for the Leafs. So we'll see a lot of vets for sure.
Definitely. Corey says, should Toronto be favored to win tomorrow against Vancouver, considering the recent 2-game results against them? Just curious. Should we be confident this time? Corey, yes, we should be favored to beat the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah. I think you ever seen that it's like a win-o-meter, like deserve to win a meter or whatever.
Yeah.
But the Leafs dominated both those games, and Braden Holtby stood on his head. So I think yes, we'd still be the favorites.
I think you should be the Maple Leafs should be confident no matter who they're playing. This is a very good team, and this is a confident group. They should be favored to win tomorrow. But this is a bit of a trap game going up against Vancouver. After it's a second of a back-to-back, we'll have David Rittich starting, but he's got stuff to prove. So look for him to perform tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
There's who is the season MVP for the Leafs not named Austin Matthews?
Can I say like who I don't know who I think is the most important part to our team other than Matthews? And
sure.
I'm not gonna say this is a hot take. I'm not gonna say Marner, Nylander, or Tavares.
You're gonna say Hyman.
Not even Hyman.
No, who?
Jason Spezza. I think without Spezza in this lineup, we have a way different team. He's kind of been the leader. Playing hockey myself, it's kind of like in practices, top 6 guys work together, usually power play stuff, penalty kill stuff, whatever. But those bottom 6 guys, it looks like Spezza is that leader in that group, and he just runs that bottom 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna go I respect that, but I'm gonna go with Mitch Marner. He's just outstanding, such a great playmaker.
Realistically, I'd say Marner as well.
Marner, he's got 43 points after tonight's game. He's just been so valuable to this Toronto Maple Leafs team. An elite playmaker.
Jug Spezza, so random. I wanted to put one out there. It's we got the raid from Hot Take Hockey, so I thought I'd throw in a hot take.
Hot take. Brody, in my opinion, the best demon on the team right now.
Yeah, I would agree with T-Dot as well for defense.
He has been the best.
Most consistent.
Yes. Jack Campbell, that's interesting. He's started to take over, but just based off of not playing the entire season, I don't think that's the correct answer.
For sure.
It's an opinion, so you're allowed to have your opinion. Every year we hit on that one Leaf, e.g. Marty. Who's the team whipping boy this year?
Pierre Engvall. Pierre Engblom.
Yeah, Pierre Engvall for sure.
I like Engvall. Seems like a good lad.
Dermott has had his time. Oh, you know what? No, Frederik Andersen.
Yeah,
Anderson. It's Frederik Andersen. It's Frederik Andersen more than Engvall.
Yeah, it's Freddie Anderson.
Frederik Andersen.
He's just been beaten this year by fans. Everyone who loved him just turned their back right on him.
Yeah, if you can't beat the crowd, you got to join them and just say, it's
Yeah, I never liked Freddie.
Freddie didn't have a good season statistically or at all. Like he really didn't have a good
Last
season. He wasn't
couple, to be
performing.
honest, yeah.
But
He's a good goalie, though. End of the day,
he's a good goalie. He's got that good ability in him. He's still got potential. But
I think it's a mental lapse for him. I think it's more of a mental thing for him in the playoffs.
And I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The teams in front of him haven't always been great either, like defensively. So that doesn't help. But he does need to be better in the big time moments. And his performance this season wasn't enough.
Personally, my issue with Engvall is I think he's not as important of a piece for how many penalties he takes. I think he takes way too many penalties, and he doesn't really bring it as much as we hope for offensively to get away with it.
Apparently, Freddie thinks he's a great goalie. Bahaha. I mean, it's good to have that confidence. And this is a guy who, for a period of time, he was a top 10 goalie in the league for easily.
That's my candidate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
he has great potential.
You know what? I think a big thing about the greats is every great you ask is going to say that they're the greatest. And damn, I think I'm the greatest. You know what I mean? So I'm sure Freddie Anderson thinks he's the best goalie in the league.
Yeah, it's great to have that confidence. You got to have that confidence, and it could pay dividends going forward. Last thing you want is someone who's going to get down on themselves.
Yeah.
In the big after.
And you see some goalies ride that confidence, like Jordan Binnington when he won the cup, and like he just went in confident. He was playing great and just rode it all the way and won the cup. So
yeah, let's go back to the whipping boy thing here. Kerfoot was the whipping boy earlier. He was taking a lot of penalties, especially early in the season. He was a bit, but
I think Kerfoot always turns. I feel like we might have a playoff player in our hands with Kerfoot. It looks like later in the year he seems to turn it around. So I think he's looked good the last few games, to be honest.
Yeah, it fills his role nicely. And last year he really struggled last year, but transitioning to a new team.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember he got the first practice game back last year before playoffs. He had that 2-goal game, one shorty, and I hope that's what we can see this year out of him in the playoffs.
Yeah, hopefully. I think he has still yet to unlock like his full potential. I think he's just a player that's taken a bit longer to fully develop. I feel like he can grow his game even more.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the comments here. Adam Brooks, all caps.
Yeah, Adam Brooks. Definitely
Adam
not.
Brooks.
Can you imagine? Remember we thought we had one of the best offensive groups with Frederick Gauthier in it?
I don't think he's signed anywhere.
Dude, I think Travis Boyd and Jimmy Vesey were both better than Gauthier, and now we have better options than them.
Gauthier was a big body, and like you'd think he had a lot of potential, but he just wasn't physical enough, and he didn't get in the dirty areas.
Yeah,
he was
a friendly giant. He was kind of
like a teddy bear.
Yeah.
So never really worked out. The goat. Yeah, Freddie the goat.
Is anyone else really itching for a fight here? Like, I want to see someone drop the mitts.
We might see Jumbo drop him at some point.
Yeah, like
he was feisty though.
I want to see someone who doesn't usually fight. Like, I want to see like the boys just get going from like Tavares dropping the gloves or even Matthews. We've seen Matthews get a little angry.
I don't want to see that because of his.
Yeah, that's true actually. But you know what? Matthews seems like such a good athlete. He'd be like, okay, like I'll just hit you with my left hand, and he'd start like just pounding you with one hand. Like he's a monster, bro. I think he'd be a good fighter.
I
He
mean,
doesn't need to though. There's no point. But
ASC says I want to see Nylander drop the gloves. I can't picture that. I can't picture that.
okay, but just imagine this: 4-on-4 hockey. Mitch Marner gets railed from behind, head first into the boards. You want Matthews to fight the guy or no? I'm saying yes. I want Matthews to dummy him. I want this guy asleep.
In that situation, I'd like him to stand up for Marner, yeah, but I don't want that situation to ever play out.
I'm just playing around. That's funny. Foligno, I want to see that.
Joe said, I do not want a Star taking a fight. That's what I'm saying.
I think the Stars got to come together. I think the Stars got to come together and bring back fighting and bring back goons.
Foligno in a fight. Yes, please. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, Foligno can fight. I think I'm surprised he didn't get more angry with how much Anderson was throwing his body around. Because I think if there's one guy on our team that would beat Anderson, it would be Foligno. The only guy I think that would have a pretty good chance. Simmons too.
How about Muzzin?
I don't know if Muzzin would. Like Muzzin seems like a gentle giant that just knows that he will dummy you. Like he knows he can dummy you, but he's just a nice guy, so he doesn't. That's how I picture Muzzin.
I've seen Josh Anderson go after him so much this year, just since game one.
Josh Anderson's scary, man. Like Josh Anderson can fight. He's a big boy. That's why I don't know who on our team would really give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, not really. Yeah.
Because if there's a series, someone's
hurt his jaw too. So
if there's a series with Josh Anderson in it, you know he's going to get hit at some point. Like you can't just let him do that all series long, take runs at people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be the same with the Kachucks too. Corey says, I think Travis Dermott will fight soon. There was a clip early in the season where Bogosian was teaching Travis Dermott's some fighting stuff. Zach Bogosian could be a candidate.
Yeah, Travis Dermott's waiting for Kyle Connor next game. He's gonna wait for the smallest guy to get into the crease, and he'll drop the mitts.
Sabrin versus Anderson. Sabrin, he's a spicy. But
I would throw Sabrin in for the playoffs if there's an injury.
I don't think. There's just too many options. I don't really see a scenario where he gets in unless we have a really depleted lineup.
Well, for me, I think it's we'll have to see how we adjust to the physicality in the playoffs, which right now looks like we'll be okay. But we haven't played those Western teams. So if we look like we're being bitched around a little bit, I think we got to bring in Sabrin.
Well, we'll see. I think I don't think
Sabrin sucks though, to be honest. Like if we're being real, Sabrin is not like good offensively, but
I don't think there'll be a scenario where he's playing in the playoffs. I think he got his time to showcase what he could do.
And he beat a guy's nose off.
Lucic.
Sabrin's a waste of air. Just ruthless.
That's the comment you're referring to. Simmons. Yeah, but Simmons also had that wrist injury this year too. He broke a wrist. So yeah, he'd be one of the first candidates, but you got to think about that as well. You don't want to re-aggravate that injury from Wayne Simmons, who can be so valuable to this team in the playoffs. Leafs have to show us their physical game. They don't finish their checks. What? It is a coaching problem.
Dude, we've probably seen more checks in the last couple of weeks than we've seen the last 2 years.
Did you watch the game against the Winnipeg Jets the other day? I mean,
I think there was like 50 hits or something.
That was a physical game. Joe Thornton was antagonizing Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers got injured for the rest of the season. Never like to see a player have that happen, especially not for my fantasy team. But yeah, that was in a run-in with Jake Muzzin. The Maple Leafs have been really physical, especially in the last 2 games.
It's starting to look normal. Matthews finishing every check. Like it looked like Matthews He just would always go for the stick lift, which was fine for him because he can do it. But now he looks like he's finishing almost every time he's going into the corner. He's not being pushed around anymore. He's a big boy.
Look at the players that the Toronto Maple Leafs brought in this offseason and this trade deadline. Foligno.
Would you be nervous
Simmons,
with those guys around you? Yeah.
They're physical players.
Yeah.
And that's
respected
Kyle
guys
Dubas
too.
said. Kyle Dubas said he wants to make this team a tougher team to play against. But I mean,
okay, Mid-Rash commented replying to his don't finish check thing. Montreal finishes their checks. Don't talk to me about Toronto.
Montreal does finish their checks. The Toronto Maple Leafs have added a physical aspect to their game, and you must be oblivious if you can't see it.
You know what the difference is, Mid-Rash? We have Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. That's the difference. And Habs fans, they can think that Caulfield is God all they want, but at the end of the day, Caulfield did nothing today and looked invisible.
He's gonna continue to develop. He'll be a good player in the league, but
don't be coming at my Leafs, bro.
He's just got to continue to develop. He's a young player. Come playoffs, injuries don't count. Hyman played with that MCL injury last year. Gilmore used to have his knee frozen. I
think I touched on that earlier. I think Hyman comes back regardless if he's feeling the best.
He's gonna come back. Zach Hyman's gonna come back. He was expected to miss at least 2 weeks, and that was almost a week ago now, maybe even more. So
I think that he'd rather take. Personally, I think that he'd rather take his shot, having his year be ended than miss out in this moment. This is history. If the Leafs can do it this year, it's history, man, and it's going to be remembered for a long time.
Do the Leafs have the grit and physicality needed to make a deep playoff run, though? Absolutely, they do. Additions of Nick Foligno. Nick Foligno is a physical player who plays a 200-foot game, great two-way forward, and you can slot him anywhere in the lineup. Jake Muzzin is a physical player with Stanley Cup experience. You have the veteran presences of Jason Spezza. Jumbo Joe Thornton's a physical player. Zach Hyman, when he returns from injury, that's another. This team hasn't even hit their full gear of physicality yet. Just wait for the playoffs. They will be a physical team.
Yeah, and if Paul is talking about physicality as in fighting, like we talked about earlier, if they can adapt to the physicality or how rough teams are playing, if we need a guy out there, we can put a guy like Scott Sabourin in. We have enough grit in our organization for sure. We also seen who I don't think gets time, but what's his first name? Gaudette. He's on the Marlies this year. He's having a breakout year. He's almost a point per game, and he's a big boy, can hit. Who knows? Maybe there's enough injuries he gets a game in.
We've just got so many options. There's a lot of physicality with this team, and
for sure.
That fourth line's been really gritty. It's been hard-working unit, and it looks really good right now.
I think Sandin Bogosian's a gross pairing, though, physically. That's if Sandin can clearly hold his own, and maybe that gives Bogosian a little more room to throw the body.
Yeah, and Sandin's he can cover so much ice. He's such a great skater.
Yeah.
JB says Montreal is missing Gallagher. They really are. 4 wins, 9 losses without Brendan Gallagher, who has a broken thumb. They could get him back into the playoffs at some point, but it's tough when you're losing a player like that who he's one of your top producers and he just gets under the skin of the opponents. That's his role.
Yeah, I kind of look at it like us losing Hyman, man.
Yeah, it's similar, right? It's got
that
same
longer.
effect. Yeah, it's got a similar effect for sure. But I really think that this team has the grit, and obviously the offense, the defense has improved. We have goaltending depth. I really think that this team is a full unit that is geared up and ready to make a run at the Stanley Cup. Tonight, the Maple Leafs have clinched a playoff spot with their win over the Montreal Canadiens. Big dubs.
Big W, baby. Let's get it. And we're coming back tomorrow, and let's see another big W.
Yes. So right now, we're sitting at 713 subscribers. So if you haven't already, there's 75 people viewing in between YouTube and Facebook. There's got to be some of you who haven't subscribed yet. If you haven't, make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified every time new content's coming out. There's post-game coverage, and player interviews, a lot of great stuff on Maple Leafs Media, and it's just getting started. Hit 700 subs today, so check out other stuff on the channel.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. You want to give any closing words to the viewers of Maple Leaf Media?
Yeah, everyone, just sauce me with a follow. I'm hoping to come back on, and we do some great shows. So follow Maple Leafs Media, follow me on Instagram, and follow Varco.
I'm Varco12 on Instagram. Yeah. Thank you for watching, everybody. Camden, thank you for coming on. Everybody, big dubs tonight. The Maple Leafs
Big W
are officially in the playoffs. It's officially official. Let's go.
Let's go.
Woo!
Let's go, baby.
Playoff hockey.
Big game tomorrow. Everyone, grab a bag of popcorn, grab a pint, and enjoy the show.
Yep. So see you.
All right, buddy.
Have a good night, everybody.
Hey, thanks a lot, bud. Oh, wait. Are you ending it?
Yeah, I just got to play the intro, outro.
Okay.